This is a painting. Believe it or not, this is a painting. This... Whoops. I'm hitting the wrong buttons. I'm hitting the right buttons, but my stuff is not set up for the right buttons. This is paint. This is me. These are mannequins. This is a clock. Right now we are here. This clock is accidentally right on time. I wanted it to be here, but I started here, and it took this long to set up, and there were technical difficulties for whatever reason, I don't know. So I'm going to turn the clock back to here. That'll give you 10 minutes off today's episode. Thank God. And when we get to here, there will be current events review, make something up. When we get to here, there will be, I don't know, some kind of thing where I'm talking about fiction, maybe anime. When we get to here, I wrap it up. So here we are, back here. Keep your eye on this clock, Cave Dweller. If I lose track, it's up to you to remind me. Light off the affectations. We'll say this one's for Elegua. Elegua, open the gates so that we can get progress. Senor Guadalupe. What good are you? I don't know. But here you are. You seem to be chthonic Black Madonna, and I like the cut of your jib. Whatever your jib is, I don't even know. She told Juan Diego, build me a church. Juan Diego's like, my dad's dying. And she's like, I'll take care of it. He's like, okay. And then she goes, build me a church. She's like, the bishop ain't going to let me. And she's like, I'll take care of it. And she prints off on his shirt this image. That's the miracle. It's not as great as the late San Juan of the Lake, Senora of the Lake, who is also the Lady of the Lake, which is way cooler. But I don't know, I feel more drawn to the Guadalupe for some reason. I don't know what either of them are for. This, down here, is paint. This is my clean palette on top of a white envelope. And inside that white envelope is a book that could be yours. Could be yours. All you have to do is donate a $10 a month donation to me on Patreon. Patreon.com/Skrauss. That's how you do it. And you get a free book. This is the peg-leg monkey. He needs fingers that you can see. So I'm just going to draw him in there really quick. Put in the fingies. Toes. Alright, so that's done. This is now done painting. This painting is kaput. Could be yours, this painting, for money, the red money, or hard labor in my service. What would you do for me to earn this painting? This painting that cost me hours and hours and hours of my life, applying it dab by dab and regaling you the entire time. That's hard work, Cave Dweller, and it makes me weary. Sometimes it makes me so weary that I just don't even want to get out of bed in the morning. Let's see what we get. So the other day, I repaired this canvas with there's a hole here. Let's see if we can get a look at this. This hole. How do you like that wire in the middle of the screen? I'm telling you, it's one technical difficulty after another around here. I don't even know where to put it. Oh, I know what I'll do. Hang on. There we go. Now we're talking. Okay, so this is a hole. This is a hole that I covered up with clear gloss gel. You see that? You see that? It goes, there's like a thing coming through there. The other side, it's just clear gloss gel. That's the hole. But I will paint over that hole, and nobody will know the difference. Because they don't have X-ray vision. So this is a picture I started the other week. It's of a spider and skunk man in a car made out of a tiger. I'm not feeling much on that one, so I'm just going to move on to Johnny Perro. And I'm going to steal images from Johnny Perrier. There's this great one of this girl, well, we can say young woman, glaring. She's just glaring right at you there. Let's copy that. I'm going to use burnt sienna ink. Burnt sienna ink. And a small brush. As opposed to the big brush. This is the big brush. It's a lettering brush or a liner. Oops. This is the small brush. You can see when I put them ferrule to ferrule which one is bigger and which one is littler, right? I mean, you can tell which one is bigger and littler. It's a bigger and littler game. It's hard to draw with the big one. It wants to go long and straight. So let's draw this woman glaring. Try to make these realistic protrusions realistic. But it's hard when in comics, breasts are up to the top of their neck. In drawings of women. Depends on the artist. Some artists are better than others at understanding anatomy. Others only understand wishful thinking. Let's see what we got here. I was expecting this ink to run a lot more because I put the glossy medium over the top of it, but it's staying put really well. She's got really big anger eyes. There she is. It's not bad. It's not too shabby. I don't think it's shabby. You might think it's the shabbiest thing you've ever seen since your own sofa / Davenport. But I don't think this is shabby at all. In fact, I think this is high class. All right. We got some of this going, some of this action with the darkness. Okie doke. Next on the list of things to throw haphazardly into this composition. I like the panel that's right next to it. So I'm going to put it in. It's one of those great, in comics, they often love to put everything on the same line for a stage level low angle. So it's not just low angle, it's stage level, as if you're sitting in the audience and your eyes are level with the stage. So it looks like every foot is on the bottom of the panel. That's something that's often done in comics, but you'll see in this particular panel, instead of their feet being on the bottom and the car being on the bottom panel, it's actually on this line on the road, which appears to be going over a hill. I love that kind of convention. Your eyes glaze over it if you're just reading it, but it's really a wonderful thing. So let's put it in this painting. One thing I like about this is the building on this side is black. Big old car. Windows in the building. Wow, this looks like an Easter Island guy. Let me see if I can accentuate that. Okay, team, that's some of the sketch that's in there. It's pretty good. It's not too shabby. I should add, before we break for current events, I'm going to add, that drips all over. Did I get in my pants? Trousers, I mean. All right, we got some road marks. Put a big old manhole in here. And these lines. Oh, here's another thing. I almost just blew off that this building has bricks in it. These aren't bricks. This is a garage door. Okay. Oh, there's more windows up top. Oh, these details are overwhelming me. Okay, and I guess I'll put a big old moon in here too. Alright, so how does it look, team? Do you love it? Do you love it yet? Let's go for the money shot. Disco Jesus, help us as we discuss these current events. And may I have good luck as I pour this coffee into your head over my computer. I got a text today from the ombudsman, the person who is the go-between person between employees and staff at St. Mark's. Employees and staff. It kind of works out that way. There's employees who are the lowest on the bottom pole, and then there's the voluntary staff of people in charge. There are 2 Indians and like 20 chiefs at St. Mark's, not to mention every parishioner who is always happy to be upset about something at any given moment. And then they tell one of the chiefs, and stool rolls downhill to myself, the sexton, and the caretaker, who does all the cleaning. Housekeeping. Well, the go-between between the staff members and the employees is taking the shuttlecraft across Lake Michigan today, and she said, how is it over there for, how did she, I can't look at it again. For social distancing or for, wait a minute, I lost my app. Oh, everything's going nuts. Okay. Technical difficulties. So, how were you for COVID practices? And I said, I don't need practice. And I couldn't think of anything. What do you say after that? Like, I'm immune, or I already have it, or I don't know, nothing. So she wanted to know if everybody was safe in Michigan. Because you know those Michigandans. As soon as you give them a little bit of freedom, they go nuts. I don't know. It's no big deal. It's just a ferry, and half the people were wearing masks, half the people weren't. There were signs up that said please wear masks, and most of us ignored it. That's the current state thing. No, there's a dust storm right here. This year is turning out to be very exciting, even if it's all fake. But who knows what's fake and what's for real? For instance, this is $500,000. they got rid of this bill. It was too easy to traffic humans and money with it. You just roll a $1 million bill up, have your humans swallow it, and then you can traffic them both in one fell swoop. They become couriers and slaves. Slavery, Cave Dweller, never went away. Okay, so let's get back to this. Oh, we got 2 minutes until the anime review. I wish I had been watching some anime. I'll try to think of something on the fly as we go. This is good. This is drying really fast. I'm going to add blue to it. Oh, actually, what was the color scheme in that actual comic? Yeah, blue and purple and yellow. All right, they just had 3 colors, which is interesting. I'm going to add down here. This is yellow ochre. This is magic sauce. It makes everything saucy. And when I say saucy, I mean it transparent. This is used for making glazes, or in this case, a transparent layer. I don't want the yellow ochre to obliterate things. I just want it to go over the top. So I'm going to do this. There's only one character in this painting. I should probably add another. I'm trying to get over my, well, personally I think this drawing sucks, but you know, we'll see if we can make it work. Go out of the lines, who cares? Lines don't care. Paint the edge. Some of my favorite drawings are copies of comics because the masters of cartooning are some of the best artists ever to exist in the world, and they don't get any credit. Instead, they get ripped off by jack-offs like Roy Lichtenstein, who gets millions of dollars and a career in the arts and gallery representation and books written about him. Meanwhile, guys like Bob Kane and Jack Kirby are just, you know, left to rot. I forgot why I brought that up. Oh yeah, they left to rot, but they shouldn't be left to rot. They should be celebrated because they are the best. The best. Just go over the lines. Who cares? And they, I'm reading a manga called Dorohedoro. Oh, here it is. Okay. Dorohedoro. I love the anime. I'm reading the manga, and I love the manga. The drawings are adequate. I'll say they're adequate. There's one character who has very short legs, and I don't know if that's deliberate or not. But every time I see him, it's consistent, and I haven't compared him to other characters. One thing I love about manga, if you cover up the head of the manga character, the anatomy is astonishing. The elbow to the shoulder, even under a shirt, is perfect. And it's done with these delicate, simplistic lines. Everything is shown. The twist of my hand, for instance, would be expertly depicted in manga. These artists are hardcore. They deserve everything they get. And I'm glad that in Japan, there's a certain amount of respect and stardom given to cartoonists, which is not given to anybody in America because for some reason we think Jasper Johns is a great hero, or who's the nut job that's out right now. You never see his face. He does paintings on the walls. I mean, who cares about these people? They're not doing anything that helps anybody. They're not doing anything that inspires the imagination. They're not doing anything in service to anything except their own wallets. And the perpetuation of postmodern art worldism, which is, you know, conception is everything, beauty is nothing, imagination is less than nothing. Dorohedoro. I love watching them depict things that are hard to depict. A guy gets punched in the face, he's lying on the ground, and he exhales, and his exhalation is a bunch of magic dust that turns everyone and everything into mushrooms around him. Just think about that. This is like a one-page spread, but the concept is delightful. He's one of the most powerful magicians in the world of magic. In Dora, there's the whole, and there's the magician world. Everybody in the magician world has magic. It's kind of like Xanth, if you recognize that reference. And some are more powerful than others. And the guy with mushrooms is one of the most powerful. He gets punched in the face. BAM! Which is surprising, because everybody's afraid of him. This other person just BAM! And then runs away and cold cocks him. It's pretty great. So you get moments like that. You don't get moments like that looking at a Liechtenstein. Although I have to say, Liechtenstein may rot in perpetual not peace. His greatest painting is in the Milwaukee Art Museum. And it's a copy, in his style, of Monet's Water Lilies. And it's a copy of the water lilies in his style, the graphic swooshes and lines, but it's made out of metal. It's not paint. So it's got those three levels of greatness. So it turns out Liechtenstein, if he practices by ripping off other artists, he can eventually break loose and become his own artist. And it took until the end of his life. Which is probably what it's going to take me. You can see how wonky this is. Looks like she has a double chin. I don't know what that is. That was a mistake. And I just left it in. Her hair is weird. Okay, here comes the sky. Used anthraquinone. Chemical names are weird, Cave Dweller. They have no rhyme or reason. They almost make no sense whatsoever. Magic sauce. Don't need a lot of it. Okay, maybe I'll need a little more. I'm going to mix this anthraquinone with this burnt sienna, because in my experience, anthraquinone is bright, and I want it less bright. Don't want it rainbow bright. I've understood, somebody explained to me that dad jokes are puns. You know, so if you give a pun when you're 20, you're the hilarious guy. If you give a pun when you're 40, you're somebody's dad. Explain that. Makes no sense. You get downgraded. Being a dad should be an upgrade. People should look up to you and enjoy the antics. I don't know what to make that. Alright, nobody's enjoying the antics. We have to paint this blue. This painting may even be finished as you watch it. As you see it, I may finish a painting. The secret is to do as little as possible. In fact, it'd be better if I could just finish a painting without even touching a paint at all. That would be the best. And that's exactly what some of these schmuch heads do. Schmuch head, that's kind of a thing. Okay, this goes down like this. I'm trying to think of that guy's name. I can't think of any of their names. The guy he did like a blow-up gummy bears. That was his shtick for a while. Jeff Koons, what a nutbag. How does he get on the cover of all the art magazines and in all the art history books? This art sucks. I mean, you can hardly even call it art. It's just giant candy. This is a painting. This painting might suck, and you'd be like, well, look who's talking. And all I can say is, yeah, I know, look who's talking. But still, it's a painting involving imagination and theft. Mostly theft. In fact, it's all theft. This painting is all theft. So I'm going to add blue to her hair here. On the inside. Blue on the inside. Women had thick eyelashes back then. At least according to the drawings. Mythical. People in Asia love Mickey and Minnie Mouse. I don't know why. I mean, the Mickey Mouse cartoons were never hilarious, like a Goofy cartoon or a Daffy Duck cartoon. Why would anybody like Mickey Mouse? He's like this squeaky voiced thing that runs around. You know, in fact, I don't even recall ever seeing a Mickey Mouse cartoon. Now that I think about it. Okay, so we got that. Let's put it in the purple buildings. Oh, one thing I have to do is I was at an Inipe ceremony this last weekend, and there was a guy there who was an artist in the 70s in New York, or 80s. And he knew some guys that were in Andy Warhol's factory, and he was like, Andy Warhol's a total asshole. And the factory was the assholiest place to work. It was cutthroat, dog-eat-dog cattiness amongst the artists. Just people tearing each other down and being evil to each other. Brought out the worst in humanity. For what? He actually just said Andy Warhol was terrible, and I said, terrible artist or terrible human being? And he goes, both. Yeah, that's pretty awesome. I love guys that can see through the art world and call it shenanigans on it, because the art world is garbage. I gotta tell you. I mean, I have no respect for it. And I shouldn't be saying that, because I'm trying to get into it. I don't know why. Oh, I know why. Because I spend hours and hours on these paintings, and I'd like to sell them and get my hands on some of that pie. But it turns out that the pie isn't worth it. Wow, I'm preaching to myself. I'm literally preaching to the choir, and the choir needs to hear it. The choir is the biggest sinners in the church, Team K. Weller. Maybe you didn't know that, but now you do know it. So does that mean I'm the biggest, worst artist in the church of art? I don't know. Maybe. There's our mailman woman walking by with a pink scarf. It's over 80 degrees out, she's wearing a pink scarf. Okay, so let's get the ultramarine violet going. A pair of pliers is your favorite friend in the world. In the world. Add a little water. I used to call my style cartoon plasticism, but it turns out it's just cartoon imagery. In fact, I mean, if you look at this, it's totally ripped off everything. I didn't do anything to alter this image at all except draw it, which is a huge alteration. I should probably go over this with different lines and make it wonkier. I may do that. Before I put the dark colors in there, I'm going to do that. Before we sign off, I'm going to do that. It's a little wet right now. So as this dries off a little bit, does that mean I want to work on this? No, it does not. I'm totally demoralized, Team K. Weller. I've got no reason to live. I'm just putzing around. I'm just wasting your time. I apologize. But maybe you could waste my time and ask me some stupid questions that I can roll my eyes at. I would never roll my eyes at a question. Because a question means learning, and learning means awesome. And I love being able to teach things. I don't know what I know, but when you ask a question, I suddenly realize I have the answer, and it surprises even myself. So go ahead and ask me anything, and I'll answer anything with true wisdom. True wisdom. We'll see what we can get. Maybe if you ask me something technical, I'll do some research, and I'll technically figure out what I'm doing wrong. Like, for instance, why is it every time I show my palette, it's a scrunched up version of the screen? Why does that happen? It's a higher end camera than the one on my computer. Technically. I don't know. I don't understand these things. I don't know how it works out or why. Let me see. Whoa. Somebody just called me Seaman Skrauss. Oh, okay. Let's see. We got. Okay, I'm going to show you some images of myself, some friends. Okay, here's a screenshot. This is a screenshot I took off of Instagram. It looks like a hallway, but it is not a hallway. Where that one wall ends is the seam between two images on a gallery post. And as I swiped through it, I saw that it looked like a hallway. The sculpture is actually two different angles of the same relief, of the same bas relief. Isn't that great? So I took a screenshot, and it became a new piece of art. Kind of awesome, isn't it? Oh, here's another good one. This is the Milwaukee flag. If you see anything else that claims to be the Milwaukee flag, it is a lie. This is the Milwaukee flag. Look at that. It's got 3 flags within the flag. It's got a giant gear, a ship, thing of wheat or something, and then the date of incorporation. What? I ask you, what flag has the date of incorporation on it? I don't think any do. In Milwaukee, we love being maximalists because it's that idea of when you don't have any culture, your attempt to have culture looks like a clownish caricature of culture. And that's what we did through our flag. That's what Milwaukee brings to everything. We're just a bunch of blue-collar chumps walking around trying to get a deal. Complaining that we spend too much money. And when we get a deal, we gotta tell everybody about it. Oh, I got such a deal! Or pork chops are 2 for 1. So I bought 17. That's Milwaukee for you. Is this dry yet? This is mostly dry. Okay, I'm going to go into it now with a different color. Put some different lines in there. I'm going to use this gray. Shake it up. This is Neutral Gray 5. It's made by No Name Brand, or it is a name brand that should not be product placed. Speaking of product placed, this is what I wanted to talk to you about current events. Joe Rogan has been compromised. Joe Rogan has left the building. He's no longer with us, Cave Dweller. I don't think you can trust Joe Rogan anymore, and here's why I say that. First of all, the thing about Jordan Peterson eating meat and then bringing it up on Joe Rogan and then saying, oh, my daughter has a blog. And you go to her blog and it's got 3 entries about her journey into eating only steak. And of course, after that, the steak keto carnivore diet blew up. That's kind of weird. Conveniently mentioning his daughter's blog as if that lends credibility to his only eating meat, or I just feel like there's something shady there. Like maybe he's getting a kickback from the beef industry. But I mean, he seems like an upstanding guy, so I'm withholding judgment on Jordan Peterson. But Joe Rogan recently had Dr. Rhodia on. She's like, you know what, Xylitol? I love Xylitol. Well, first of all, and then they put down another product. They said, first of all, I can't deal with Tom's of Maine. It's terrible. And Joe Rogan's like, yeah, it actually makes breath worse. So, making an appeal to fear, which is what all toothpaste commercials do, they appeal to your fear of social embarrassment. It's the only reason we use toothpaste. And then Joe Rogan says, yeah, it doesn't work to alleviate that fear. Towns of Maine. No good. Why? Why did they have to put down a specific product? And then they went into xylitol, how it's the miracle drug for your teeth. And it's in chewing gum. Only use xylitol. And so I immediately went out and I bought a huge package of icebreakers because they have xylitol, and I chewed them all at once. And later on I realized, wait a minute, well, I never chewed gum before. Why am I suddenly buying xylitol? Oh, because it's a miracle drug. Is it really a miracle drug? It's this chemical derived by dubious methods. Dubious, I'm putting quotes around my own word dubious because I don't know what the methods were, but I assume they involve harsh chemicals. I assume all extractions involve harsh chemicals. And now I'm eating it like fistfuls at a time. I was manipulated. I was manipulated. And I don't think Joe Rogan's been compromised because of manipulated. I think he's been compromised because of this weird advertisement for xylitol, which was not an advertisement. It was two people having a discussion, which may or may not have been scripted. It was just so weird. It was the setup, miracle drug. Oh, first of all, let's put down the product and then the miracle drug. And here's my story. I'm a doctor. You can trust me. It's the same thing as when they were telling us most doctors prefer camel back in the 50s. I don't think Joe Rogan is with us anymore. Now then, back to the painting. So in order to make this painting more lively, I'm going to make it more dramatic. And I'm going to really bring out this car. Yep, I guess it's going over the edge, whatever. And this goes like this, right? No, yeah, no, like this, okay. Okay. This comes down. So far it looks pretty much the same. Here's one thing I learned. If you divide it this way and this way, I want the spin to go like this. So that means I distort it in that direction. So everything in the top half goes to the left, everything in the bottom half goes to the right, everything on the right half goes up, everything in the left half goes down. And then I just repeat the lines. Boom. I'm trying to do this all at once, so it's left and down. And this comes out. This comes out. Great thing about these is that everybody knows what they are. All right, so her head goes down into the left. right. Now I feel better about this painting. So instead of ripping off the no-name artist who didn't even get credit in that comic where I stole it from, instead of just ripping him off, I now have something based on his work, which is just the way you want to do it when you're studying. You're making a study. Now you'll look at it and you'll say, "That looks like a mess," and you will be absolutely correct. It is a mess. Next episode, I will resolve the mess. Can I do it? Do I have the ability? Okay, brother, I ask you, am I artist enough to fix this mess and make it into something as awesome as this? This particular painting only took me 2 months of solid, hardcore work. And when I say hardcore, I mean getting to it once in a while. Because that's how I roll. Okay, Team Capital, that's it, we're done. We're wrapping it up. Thanks for being here. This Guadalupe is for you. This Saint Expedite is for you. Return the affectations. Return Disco Jesus back to the podium. And Team Capital, remember, every time you feel like throwing in the chips and giving up, all you have to do is drink some mugwort tea. And that will give you the illusion that things are all right. Or it might work. I don't know. Mugwort tea. Give it a shot. No, not mugwort. St. John's wort. All these warts! Too many warts!